So we live together.
Yep.
We watch football together.
Yep.
We talk about football together.
Yep.
Why don't we just start a podcast?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Eye Test. It's myself, Lyes, and my guy, CultureCams. International break. The funniest phenomenon in football, man. We're right in the middle of it at the moment. And you know what? I thought after the last one, things had kind of calmed down a little bit. I think last one was a little bit calm. But I think this is one of the craziest ones I have ever seen. And I'm not talking about the football that's being played in international break. Because I almost feel like the funny thing about it is the football almost takes a back seat during the international break. Like we talk about anything but what's happening on the pitch. And this week, or this 2-week period, some of the stuff I've been hearing, capped off by one of the, maybe the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Where do we even begin, bro?
I mean, firstly, why is it international break brings that out of everybody? Like, it's like everybody just becomes so agenda filled. Nobody, like, I haven't made a tweet this international break. Like,
yeah, but you're a part-time tweeter now.
Yeah, exactly.
You're out the game.
I'm out the game, man. I'm out the game, bro. I'm too old for this shit. I'll be looking at these guys like, bro, people acting too childish on that app. Like, it's too weird. Yeah. So, yeah, obviously, I take a back seat. And the thing is, like, as I said, Twitter for me now is like, we use it in a way to promote our content and stuff. Obviously, still stay engaged, still see what the conversation is. But in terms of like actually debating and stuff, I think debating in that app is absolutely done.
It feels futile, honestly.
Yeah, it's absolutely done. It's absolutely done. But yeah, anyway, back to it. I think what we were saying as well, I love the YouTube community. We love the YouTube community.
YouTube is my favorite community,
people
man.
Are in there and talk ball. They'll break it down. They'll like, it's actually a conversation, whereas Twitter, who can get most likes and blah, 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 blah. So I feel like it's kind of gone down the drain. But the one thing that has been constant with Twitter is every time international breaks hit, people just become crazy for the agendas. It's like somebody just... It's like a
challenge.
People,
it's like the Hunger Games. Like, how can I get the biggest take of the week?
It's crazy. Like, it's actually crazy. And I know the one you're talking about, Mitchell's tweet,
bro.
That was great. That was a madness.
I didn't see it until Cam sent it to me, right?
Yeah.
Cam sent it to me on Twitter. I don't do this often, bro. I audibly shouted when that tweet hit my DMs. I literally had to reread it a few times. I was like, wow, because international break, right? It almost feels like no one's safe, right?
Yeah.
We've seen the biggest legends ever get called out, disrespected, rewritten. Drogba, Henry, Lampard, everyone feels, but it almost always feels like in these conversations, Messi is almost left to the side. We leave him. We don't really like. This is the first time I've really seen someone come for Messi, and when they did that, I was, oh wow, anybody can actually. No one's off. No one's safe.
Yep.
That's the worst. I think that's the worst. First of all, shout out Dimitri Mitchell, man. I was a fan of this guy when he broke through at Man United. Honestly, that performance at Crystal Palace, I was moved, bro. Honestly, I thought we had like. And obviously he's still doing his thing at the lower level, but no hate towards him. But my brother, I think that's the worst take I've ever heard in my life. I genuinely could not believe what I was reading.
You know what is Demi's my guy as well. Like we're cool, and we're meant to link up soon for like a pod or whatever soon, hopefully anyway.
Get him on the eye test, bro. I need to ask him about that take, bro.
But that take, I don't know. I don't know what stemmed it. That's the thing. I don't know what stemmed it. But
what made him?
The thing is, like, I've been trying to kind of think about maybe. By the way, guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, maybe your editing skills.
Let me actually just read out the tweet real quick. And I know people the last episode were saying you got to be quicker pulling up the things. I already got it right in front of me, man. Dimitri Mitchell tweeted, "This might sound crazy, but Messi isn't an amazing 1v1 dribbler." I almost don't feel like I have to read anything else, bro. Messi is not an amazing 1v1 dribbler. He dribbles through teams, but catch him out wide 1v1 against a Kyle Walker or Ashley Cole, and he's not scaring them. There's a difference between players that run through teams and players that run at players. Ronaldinho was much more of a 1v1 specialist. And if that tweet wasn't bad, it's like people then replied to him, and it's like he's digging his hole deeper and deeper and deeper.
You know what I think it is, right? Like, I don't agree because Messi is an amazing dribbler, and wide, we don't get to see him wide too much. But the opportunities that we did get to see him wide was in his younger days, right? When maybe Barcelona had other threats who are maybe more known, like Ronaldinho's and Samuel Eto'o and Henry and stuff like that, while Messi was coming through. he was killing people, bro. Messi, when he had that big nose and the long hair, I don't know, that Triple H nose that he had. I don't know what happened. I think he done surgery or something because that nose don't exist no more.
I think it's the long hair. Like
maybe
it accentuates the body.
Yeah,
features,
maybe.
Yeah.
But when he had that Triple H nose, he was like taking people on. He was explosive. He was quick.
Did you see what we did to Roberto Carlos?
Yeah, but bro, I remember what he was doing to Asia Del Horno and that.
That was murder.
In the Chelsea game,
that
bro.
That should
you know
have been
what I mean?
reported to the police.
Exactly. So when you look back at what Messi had done, he can do it. But obviously, to be the best player that he is and to be the GOAT that he became, he started doing his damage more in central areas. So the only thing that I think, you know, when he said it's not an amazing 1v1 dribbler, he did specify that he's talking about out wide. And for me, that's the problem. You can't, it's not, 1v1 dribbling doesn't just mean out wide. You look at some of Messi's goals, only because he's running in the center of the pitch, doesn't mean he's not sizing you up 1v1. Let's look, for example, the Real Zaragoza goal, for example, when he pushes off Herrera, runs through. When he takes on that one man, that's 1v1. When he does that left, whatever he did, that's 1v1. Boom, goal. That's 1v1 moments. When you look at Ankara Messi goal, that's 1v1. He's taking everyone on. Yeah, 1v1. It kind of got 3v1-ish in that one.
It starts with the 1v1 where he picks it up and then he like...
Yeah, but Ankara Messi is 1v1.
Oh, yeah, that is literally
I'm
1v1,
taking everyone on, 1v1.
I mean, there's that
Even the
goal
goalkeeper he took on.
There's that one. I mean, bro, young Messi, especially 09 times, right? Like, there's this one goal against Malaga where he receives it on the touchline, chests it in, and then he almost takes a touch like in the air.
I know exactly the goal you're talking about.
That's why for me, like, I understand what his point is about 1v1. Like, it's different. I don't disagree with that. Like, if he had said David Silva is not a great 1v1 dribbler, I think he holds some weight. But it's just Messi, who has so many examples. Like he said, I can't name more than a handful of times. I could name you 10, like literally right off the top of my head.
You know what it is? I think with Demi, I think he associated 1v1 dribbling too much to like direct wing play. I think associated it to Saint Maximin's,
but we've all played football in training, right? We've all played football in training where we do that one session where like it's goalkeeper behind, defender, you, and the defender passes it to you, and then rushes at you, and you have to beat him, and then you're doing it centrally, right? You're not doing it from the wing. Yeah. And that's a 1v1 drill. I don't understand. 1v1 is just the art of you versus your defender. Can you beat him?
You know what? I think I fully agree. And that's the thing. It came down to explanation of how he said the tweet. And also like semantics behind it.
And also he chose a rotten example. Yeah, honestly, he chose a bad example of a player.
If he said something like, I wouldn't agree necessarily, but if he said something like, if you're a left back and Adama is running at you and Messi's running at you to go down the line, maybe he can have a bit of a discussion because Adama. But it's the fact that he said it's not an amazing 1v1 dribbler. Like, that's literally impossible to say.
It's crazy.
It's impossible to say.
That's crazy. And I even like I quoted it because at one point I was like, do I even reply to this? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I don't even bother.
I was like, honestly, I think if you like, this is one of those conversations I think you have to have with someone who played against Messi. Yeah. And I think if you genuinely tried convincing Felipe Luis or who else were the left backs, Tremolinas or Marcelo. Yeah, bro, I don't think Messi was that cold. I think they would genuinely... They would laugh so hard. Bro, they would cry of laughter. Like, that's insane to say.
I think that's over. I think sometimes we look for flaws in people too much. We look for over-analysis. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's a perfect example of it. You know what I mean? I think... And the thing is that I kept trying to look at it and think, where is he? So I tried to go in his mind because similarly to the Ryan Cherky Mbappe thing, right? No, similarly, because for me, it's like...
By the way, fair enough. He beat you in terms of views. He's on 12 million views right now.
Wow.
He might be more since then.
Yeah,
he was on 12 million.
Damn, I was trying to hold that record. I might repost.
It's on 13 mil.
I might repost. Let me wake the demon up, bro. What are you talking about? He did that. He lapped me in one day, bro. Nah. I need to come at Messi, fam. Man. I need to come at Messi, but nah.
You really think Anthony is more talented than Messi?
Nah, but you know what it is like? Similarly to that, for me, that's very much like a semantic thing as well. So I think maybe he went a little bit more depth than I did. Yeah. So maybe he's a little bit more like undefendable in a way. But I think there's a tad case of misunderstanding with what he said. There's a tad case. But it's a bad take. It's a bad take.
It's terrible. And Again, I thought
13 million views in a day.
Yeah, no, but bro, you know what it is?
13 in a day.
You went for Mbappe FC.
Yeah.
And like people
I didn't
were
even
saying
go for Mbappe FC. Like,
that's your target. Right?
Yeah, okay,
Mbappe
yeah.
is the fall guy of your tweet.
Yeah.
This brother went for Messi.
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
Different,
Messi is Mbappe don't got shooters right now for him like Messi
he ain't
does,
got
bro.
shooters.
Messi, you got dudes from all over the continent, bro.
He's even got me for quotes.
Continent, bro.
Now, I'm waking that tweet up.
Bro, you got people from Asia defending Messi,
Yeah,
South
yeah.
America, Africa.
It's a long day.
That's one of the biggest athletes in the world.
It's a long
You
day.
went for
It's a long-
Mbappe. Like, Mbappe's a big dog as well
Yeah,
too.
he's a big
but
dog,
You
yeah.
don't got shooters like Messi
Nah,
does, bro.
that's long. Still, you know what? He's lucky, but he's lucky that Messi's done playing. Well, he's not, but he's
Oh, yeah,
lucky that he's not.
every time
But
Mbappe scores,
Mbappe can score with his toenail, and then somebody will be in my DM and say, "Delete this tweet, you fucking dickhead."
I seen a tweet from, was it Atlas, who was like,
Yeah.
after the Mbappe goal, he's like,
Yeah,
bring me
yeah.
CultureCams 10K. I was like, oh my God, man.
Well, listen, if I speak on that goal, people won't be happy. So let's just move on, boy, because that shift.
Why don't you speak on that goal? We don't see you anymore, man.
That shift. It wasn't meant to go to Ekitike for the
Well, you
for
said
the
on
one.
second replay, there was a
Let me
deflection
not
or
say
whatever.
too much. Let's move on. Let's move on. I'm just silent now
All I'm
anyway,
saying
bro.
is you need Cherokee to come back
Bro,
and ball out for Man City, bro.
For me, I don't need Turkey to do anything, bro. I'm telling you now.
I can't lie.
I don't need him to do
you
anything.
need him to come. Oh no, you definitely need him to come back and show
Turkey's gonna
quality,
ball
bro.
anyway. He
Because
will,
if
he
he
will.
comes back to City and starts thinking it up, bro.
Like if he does like a verts or something, it'll get
Bro,
long, innit? It'll get long.
if Turkey was doing what Virtus was doing right now, you wouldn't be able to walk outside this building, bro.
Bro, what you saying? Mbappe's shooters will be outside, bro.
What do Mbappe shooters even look like, bro? Faisal.
Bro, who
Faisal's
even
gonna be
knows?
outside
But
the
honestly,
building.
man, except when like one of the band them or something will quote it, because I only have accounts that I follow or whatever. And notifications, I don't be seeing it. It's people that be saying to me like, "Yo," one person DM me on Instagram like, "Yo, my bro, like big, yo, my bro, like they're coming for you." Something. I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yo, Mbappe checked it." I thought, "Oh," and I put laughing face. I was like, "What the fuck?" I didn't even realize, bro.
I'm trying to think like what's the take I had that had the most controversy? Like your one. I'm honestly trying to think one that I had where everyone just started bugging out. Maybe I stayed.
There was that time. Remember that time when you said Arsenal are soft or something? They were going crazy.
Oh yeah, they have a
over
soft underbelly.
Yeah,
that was
went
Arsenal
mad
fans.
at-
Like I
yeah.
expect them to. I'm talking like where the whole internet.
Whole
Because there were a lot of
internet.
people agreeing with me as well too. I'm talking like one where I just lost the crowd. You know what I mean? I don't. Maybe because I don't really go out of my way to make a take that like
Yeah.
because what you said was a brave take. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It is like whether you agree or disagree or
Yeah.
whatever. It's a big take.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever
No,
like
it's
gone.
not something that I've even. If people were trying to tell me like every time, like, do you change my? I don't change my mind on what I said. Only thing I think is the semantic around it, like because people have different definitions of what they see as talent. So I think talent is one of them ones where it's like, what's the word? It's subjective.
Yeah.
But I will never, ever, ever, ever change my mind that Ryan Cherky is a better technical football player than Mbappe. I will never. He is much more technical.
But you know what?
than
I think
Mbappe.
if you had,
that is what I was talking about.
but
Everybody knows I was talking about technical.
But I don't think
ability.
they do. I think that's the
Yeah,
problem.
there
I think
we
if
go.
you had said that in your tweet, I still think you would have gotten backlash
Yeah.
by people. But I think you would have had much more people agreeing
Maybe.
with you. I think they jumped on talent because for them, talent has to do with IQ and like this and like athleticism as well
Yeah.
too. I think if you had just purely said, I think Cherokee is a more technically gifted footballer than Mbappe.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you would have not held even anywhere close.
that goes. I mean, unless people think Mbappe's like. In technical ability, Mbappe's not one of the all-time players that I've seen anyway in technical ability. So, do you know what I mean? He's not though. Is
No,
he?
I'm just saying.
Is
you
he?
might be opening a whole new can of worms, bro.
No, but is he though? Is he?
For me, it's
Technical
funny
ability.
on the
Mbappe's
subject,
in
on the
one of the
subject
most-
of this because yesterday we were having a conversation on my stream, right? Someone was asking me, "Do you think Mbappe could ever be the greatest of all time? Like, do you think he could
Yeah.
ever enter that conversation?" And I said, "No, I don't really think he is because I just think as a footballer, I don't think he's anywhere near Messi's level. It doesn't matter how many goals he scores. I think like he is capped at how great he like in terms of." He's going to go down as one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah.
But in terms of being in the Messi zone and no, I don't think he could ever
Yeah.
be that because I don't think he is as good a footballer as Messi was.
Yeah.
And there's like a lot, like for me, I even said on my stream yesterday, I think Neymar had a bigger chance of going down as
Definitely.
a GOAT level player than Mbappe.
Come on.
Just because of how he plays the game.
It's just the technical ability, the technical side of the game is different.
Yeah.
I think Mbappe is top 3 player in the world. And me and you actually have been on Mbappe being the best player in the world. When Messi was playing, do you remember that?
Yeah, because towards the end, for me, Mbappe.
When
yeah.
Messi was playing, people were saying, nope, still Messi. And me and you were saying it's Mbappe. So it's got nothing.
No, I like
and
Mbappe,
Chucky
yeah.
is not even a conversation in
technical-
terms of
but-
who's a better
yeah.
player. I mean, come on, let's not.
But this is
I'm
where it
not
also comes down
delusional.
to when you are so great, it's like people think you're the best at everything.
Yeah.
It's like if I ask people who's a more technically gifted player between Neymar and Cristiano Ronaldo, I think Neymar is more technically gifted.
Yeah.
And again, this goes back to the whole thing. Being technically gifted doesn't mean you're better than
No,
this
but
guy or
the
not.
problem
But
is
when
that-
it is just purely technical ability, Neymar is one of the greatest, most technical players I've ever seen
And
in
the
my
thing
life.
is, it opened up. I'm going to go back to Demi's tweet as well. But also what you're saying, I think a lot of times people think that if you're not reaching the standard, so you said Neymar and Ronaldo, those are two like legendary footballers. But you can look at, people like to laugh at players like Hatem Ben Arthurs and these type of guys. But genuinely, these are some of the most talented players and the most technically gifted players you will see. They just didn't reach the level. And the reason why they didn't reach the level could be many things. It could be mentally, it could be home life, it could be discipline,
Environment.
it could be
No,
environment, it could be
I
anything.
always think
but it doesn't mean
it's
that
funny.
it doesn't mean that your technical
Yeah.
level, and everybody knows that's, well, maybe they didn't because the internet liked to run with it, but I've obviously talking about that natural gift. If I get give somebody the ball, what can you do with it? Bro, Chucky's a demon, bro. He's a demon with it. You know what I mean? But back to what Demi said, and this is another thing. What you said is like, oh, people like think that when you're a GOAT, nothing else, nobody can come close to anything. Like I saw somebody say, like, there's not one aspect of football that Hazard comes even close to Lionel Messi, even dribbling. Like, come on, like, let's not lie now. Like, that's ridiculous. What do you mean? He's like not like Hazard's not even close to Messi in dribbling. That's when I'm like,
Hazard's one of the greatest dribblers
chill out.
of his
This is what I'm
generation,
trying to
bro.
say. He's one of the greatest dribblers ever. Bro.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think that
I
with
don't know.
Messi, what makes him so special is he seems to be top one at everything, but that doesn't mean that at everything, like, he is far and beyond everybody else. What makes him the GOAT is he is number one at everything, but it doesn't mean he's a million times better than number two at
exactly. That's what I said to you yesterday. I was like, so because LeBron James, you might see him as the GOAT, or I don't know, you might see MJ as the GOAT.
doesn't mean
does that mean nobody comes close to MJ's jumper? Nobody come close to LeBron's dunking. Not close. Like, come on, it's too far. There is obviously people that are of that level. Do you get where I'm coming
but
from?
on the Mbappe thing, it's interesting, right? Because Mbappe falls into such an interesting category for me because he will go down as one of the greatest players of all time.
He's a demon.
Yeah, of course, right? He's going to score hundreds of goals.
Bro.
His resume is already insane. His international resume is insane. And I think it's okay to say that he will go down as one of the greatest players of all time, but he will never, for me,
be the GOAT.
Even in my consideration for the greatest player of all time. I'm sorry. A, because of the barometer that Messi has set for that, but also B, I think there's a difference in saying, oh, this guy's one of the greatest players in this position, or even the greatest player in this position, and being the greatest player of all time. So, for example, right, Maldini is one of the is for some people the greatest defender of all time. Maldini's not in the GOAT conversation, right? Haaland, I'm very happy to say, could go down as the GOAT striker. He's not ever going to be, for me, the GOAT of football. It's not. I do think, and it stands true with the entire history of the game. Ask your parents, ask your parents' parents, who were the greatest players of their generation? Who are the GOATs for them? And it always seems to come into this category of genius. Maradona, Zico, Zidane, Pele, Messi. The only one for me that even like goes into that category that was more of like a numbers guy was Cristiano Ronaldo. I think he's the only one that's entered that discussion that isn't kind of like the others. So for you to enter that conversation, that pantheon of greatness, it isn't just about how many goals you score or what you do on your resume. It is a bit of a feeling as well too. And I don't think Mbappe personally has what those guys did. And for me, the reason I keep bringing up Neymar, I think Neymar talent-wise was of that ability that if he maximized his whole career, if he maximized his whole talent, he made the right career decisions, never got injured, I think he had what it took to be that level of football.
That's the thing. And like, even with Cristiano Ronaldo, like the way people talk about it, it's like, when you're talking about him and you're not saying that you're downplaying him or anything, but you're basically saying that he's not in that, like, maybe that necessary ilk from the natural gift is what you're saying. But why do people feel so comfortable to say that about Cristiano Ronaldo, but it's so different with Kylian Mbappe? Like, people,
because Mbappe is doing it in the here and now, I think.
Exactly, because that talking about that natural gift. Ronaldo is scoring goals with his left foot from 35 yards. Free kicks, right foot, header. He can do he's overall ability package is more than
Ronaldo,
a Kylian. It's more than a Kylian.
I'm comparing Cristiano to like
it's more
Messi
than a
and
Haaland.
Maradona. In terms of, is he an amazing football? Of course, bro.
But the thing is,
he's
it's
a much
so
more gifted
downplayed.
footballer than Mbappe and Haaland.
But it's so downplayed. Like, it's people are so comfortable saying, oh, this guy's more talented than Ronaldo. This guy.
No, there's a handful of players more talented than Ronaldo.
This is what I'm saying. Like, people are so
you can count them on maybe two hands, maybe.
Yeah, so people are so comfortable talking about it. But I'm like, are we seeing what this guy actually does? The guy can score any type of goal, any distance, freak, everything. Aerial ability. He might be the greatest header we've ever seen in football. Like, this guy, what he's doing, and when people are comfortable downplaying his talent, but other players, that's why I'm always like, it's a bit inconsistent there for me. But yeah, man. Anyway, back to what we were saying. International break. I've been seeing.
Can I say one more thing, by the way? Yeah. Because I know people are going to latch onto that Ben Arfa talent thing that you said.
He's one of the most talented players.
Talent is. I'm very consistent with this. So is Cam. We're not saying that talent is the most important thing in football. I mean, it's a great base. There are plenty of talented players that never had the career of half guys half talented. Because talent, honestly, if you look at it, is probably only 25% of a player's career.
Talent isn't enough.
Yeah, no, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's enough to get you there in the first place, but having an amazing career and being an amazing player, there's so many other attributes that come into it, right? Like, even in terms of outside of the football pitch, like the career decisions that you make, the coach, having the right coach around you at the time, being fit with injuries.
Understanding the game.
But also in terms of like your life outside of football. Yeah. Like, there's so many other things that come into it when you're talking about being a successful football player and having a successful career. But for me, then when you get to the level that we're talking about, all-time greats, what does split the margins for me is how good you are at football. I'm sorry. For me, I think it does. And some people will say, well, Mbappe is obviously good at football. No one's saying he's not. But we're comparing him now to Messi, Maradona. Like, these guys are, for me, like a different level of footballer, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I don't even see how that's debatable. And that's why for me, Yamal, I think I look at Yamal and I'm like, oh, you have like, your gift is something different.
It's
like,
different.
You are of the ilk of that level,
He's
or
different.
potentially, for me, it sits at that.
Yeah.
He could again, if his whole career goes the right way, because it has to. When it's all said and done, I could see him in that pantheon.
But it's different when I always say you just know, like, Mbappe is a demon. He is a demon. Like, 400 goals. He's probably going to score he'll probably score 700 goals, right? By the end of his career. He's demonic. He's going to win titles not long before he wins the Champions League. He's already got a World Cup. This stuff is undeniable. Nobody's downplaying Mbappe. In fact, Mbappe is one of me and yours favorite players of this generation. So that's never going to be in question. But as you said, you're talking about those type of players. Yeah. I've said numerous times on my podcast and stuff that I just think you have to be something special to be in that mess.
And by the way, the conversation we're talking about...
Not even special, sorry. Something godly.
Yeah. The conversation we're talking about here, I'm not including Romario in it. I'm not including Gerd Muller in it. Van Basten's not in it. Yeah. Even R9, I think, Cruyff is, again, more... Cruyff, for me, you're talking about that level.
Oh, you're talking... Okay.
Yeah, my point is, these guys, Romario, Gerd Muller, Van Basten, Henry, for example, these are all-time great players. Even those guys, I don't put at that level, and that's not to diss them. This is just the level we're talking about. But the thing is, like, I always think these are talking about the 1%. These are like the 0.01% for me.
And the thing is, though, like, right, when you think about it, like, a lot of people, again, I always say application is amazing, right? What you do with your application is what makes you a great player. Yeah, and that cannot be denied. Like, if Ryan Cherky gets to Mbappe's level, I mean, goodness me. Yeah, he'll have done amazing. Yeah. And I don't think he will ever get to Mbappe's career. I don't think he will. But you look at, as you said, application, like in terms of like numbers and how you apply yourself, etc. That gets you into that conversation, a great player. But you look at, for example, when Karim Benzema was talking about Ben Arfa, the guy says this guy is Messi. Yeah. He said this guy he was the talent of Messi. He has the talent of Messi. He was the best. Yeah. He's the best. Like, are we going to go and say to Karim Benzema, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, did you not see Jude Bellingham talking about Rodrigo is the most talented player at Real Madrid? Verbatim. Yeah, he said he's the most talented player. He said he is easily the most talented player at the club. The stuff that we see him do in the training and the stuff that he does with the ball, we cannot do. Jude's words. Kylian plays for that team. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying Rodrigo, that's you guys' discussion, but it's the way, it's because they're talking about that gift with the football. Benzema is talking about Ben Arfa's gift with the football. Jude is talking about Rodrigo's gift with the football. I think that's the way most people that play the game view talent. That's what I think. personally.
Yeah.
I think that's the way they view it. You always talk about why do you think these guys marvel over Paul Scholes? Everybody in the academy, everybody in Manchester talk about Paul Scholes because of the way he plays with the football. You know what I mean? It's always that aspect. So I don't know, but everyone, listen, one thing that I did say that I would take away from this discussion is that, okay, I realize everybody's definition of talent is a lot different. You know what I mean? It's a lot different. So I've done a whole video on this, by the way. So whatever. But yeah, that's how I see it anyway. But back to what we're saying. International break. Bruh, some stuff that has come up. I saw Aubameyang's better than Drogba. I've seen Kane is top 5 striker of all time. I'm like, yo, international break goes crazy. And
what is it about? Like, is this something in the air? Like,
I don't know. I think, you know what I think it is? I think people just get I don't know. I think they just want to entertain themselves first and foremost. Like, everybody just wants to entertain themselves. But you see some takes and I'm like, how can Aubameyang be better than Didier Drogba? And then the people are putting their numbers together. But it's like, if you want to win football matches, if you're conducive to win football matches, are you really taking Aubameyang over Didier Drogba? Like, you just not. I actually think Aubameyang would laugh at us for saying that, bro. Like, yo, you know you're better than Drogba. Yo, chill. You bro, chill. I'm like, I don't know. I don't get it. I
actually think
the whole Lampard.
If you ask 20 Premier League managers giving you prime Drogba and prime Aubameyang, who would you rather have?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's one that would take Aubameyang, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't.
And like, do you know what it is? Yeah, and this is the reason why. Like, again, I'm not trying to just shit on Twitter, but this is the reason why you can't really have too much discussions on Twitter because it ends up becoming like a political party, as you said. Like, oh, I'm taking this side and this person's taking that side. We're gonna do anything we can to win this discussion. That's what
it is, bro.
And
it's
that's
like,
what it is.
I will literally shit on the other side just to big up my guy. I said that to someone yesterday. I said, that's why you have to be careful of Twitter comparisons and stuff like that because people aren't arguing good faith, bro. They're not arguing to educate or to learn or they're arguing just to get one over on the other team.
And you look at for example, the Paul Scholes Lampard Gerrard thing. I know you did a video on it and stuff. But
it wasn't even about on that. It was more about the England national team.
Oh yeah, sorry, but my thing is, often when I'm hearing everybody talking about this is nobody talks about. Everybody says, "Oh well, Scholes can't do what Gerrard did in Liverpool, and Gerrard can't do this, and can't. Everyone can't." I'm pretty sure they all could, bro. Now, could Scholes rally the troops and run around like Steven Gerrard? No. But who said football matches with Paul Scholes in that Liverpool team would have looked like that? Who would have said that if Scholes was next to Mascherano or Xabi Alonso, football matches would look like that? First and foremost, if Scholes is in the midfield with Xabi Alonso, you've got much more control than if you have Steven Gerrard. I'm sorry, it's just the reality of how Paul Scholes plays the game. Who says that Steven Gerrard wouldn't be able to do what Scholes was doing? If you put Steven Gerrard in that 2003 team, for example, when Scholes was behind Van Nistelrooy, if you put Steven Gerrard there, why couldn't Steven Gerrard score? What was it? Scholes scored 14 open play goals. Why couldn't Steven Gerrard do something similar? Probably could. Frank Lampard, the amount of goals that he's scored. Why, if you put Paul Scholes, as I just said, who had done that role and was a goal scorer, has actually a better goal to game ratio. Why couldn't he do what Lampard was doing in them Chelsea teams? If Jose Mourinho said, Paul Scholes, I need that from you. Like Rafa Benitez, Gerard Houllier had Gerrard playing centre mid. He was doing whatever. They won UEFA Cups. Then he had Benitez came in and put him right mid. Yeah, they won a Champions League. They did this. They did whatever. Then at some point he said, you know what? I need Gerrard. I need to play behind the striker. Gerrard can do it. Same thing with Paul Scholes. Once upon a time, he was behind the striker. Then he was an 8. Then he was pretty much not a 6, but like a deep-lying playmaker. Yeah. These guys, Lampard, he won the Champions League in a pivot next to Mikel and Ramirez, bro, and Raul Meireles, bro. And he was playing good. He won a Champions League in that position. Oh, but no, we also need you to be behind the striker. Okay, I'll score 20 a season. Why doesn't anybody just factor in that these are special players and you can pluck them into any team? And if the manager requires something out of them, they would have been able to do it. Yeah. I don't think that ever gets discussed.
I think that's the conversation. I think it's become now too much like, oh, this guy was so much better than this guy. He couldn't do any word there. Like for me, it's like I don't really think there's that much between all three of them.
No, there's not. And the thing is though, bro, like listen, it's like, let me just go back to that with the Gerrard thing because he's often the one where people use hypotheticals like, well, this guy wouldn't have won this in this team. As I said, things could have looked different. Is Scholes going to do a Olympiacos moment? We don't know. Is he going to do a FA Cup final? We don't know. But who said football would have been... You can't just remove Gerrard, but keep all of Gerrard's moments, but put Paul Scholes in that position and say, what would he have done in that? Who said the match should have looked like that? Even for Frank Lampard, who said the match should... The ball, when Lampard gets the ball, puts a side pass over to Ramirez. Ramirez chips the goalkeeper. Do we know if Gerrard and Scholes are doing that?
Probably doesn't even play that pass.
Do we know? We don't know. Do you know what I mean? We don't know these situations. So when people are saying this type of stuff, I'm like, they've all scored in FA Cup finals. Do people know that Scholes scored the winner in the Newcastle in the FA Cup final in the early 2000s? Oh no, in the 99, sorry. He scored the winner, right? People probably don't even know that. Paul Scholes has scored in the FA Cup final. Gerrard has scored in the FA Cup final. Lampard has scored in the FA Cup final. So it's like they've all done things in the game similarly. For me, this is when we go back to, you've all had great careers. You've all done different things. Now it's about, what did you prefer as a fan? Did you prefer the fact that Lampard is consistent and played like 400 games or 300 games in a row? Like amazing. The pillar of consistency. Frank Lampard.
He's the pillar of efficiency.
Yeah, efficiency, consistency. Do you look at a Paul Scholes because maybe you like controllers? Okay, cool. Or do you like Gerrard because he likes boxing? That is more of a discussion for me than, oh, he wouldn't have been able to do this. Or he wouldn't have been able to do that, because that's just hypotheticals. For me, it's what do you like? This is how I look at players. What do I like in the player? And also their ability level. That's why for me, I'm not going to lie, growing up, when I was younger, I was Gerrard over Lampard. Then when I got older, a little bit, I was Lampard over Gerrard. But weirdly, now that I'm even older, I'm kind of more Gerrard over Lampard, because I think Gerrard is just a bit better. He's better at playing football than Lampard.
That's kind of where I sit. That's where I sit with
so
it,
for me, it's like, for me, it's like, you can have your debate. Scholes, Gerrard. I like Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard, whatever. Maybe I'm biased because it's Man United, but I'm looking at it as like the gift. And that's all I'm saying, the gift. Lampard, unfortunately...
Actually, it's Scholes for you then, no?
Yeah, that's what I said.
So Scholes for you is the best of the three.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Lampard, I just feel you have the least gift. And that's why you've all done amazing things. And that's why you're a little bit lower.
Yeah,
that's my way of seeing it. It's not because I think, because he wouldn't have been able to do this in this team.
Yeah. No, but then again...
Could Xavi do what Gerrard did?
No, he couldn't.
Could Iniesta do what Gerrard did?
Because I actually think I probably like Gerrard the most of the three. I probably do.
That's fair.
But I also
it's very close for me with all three of them.
Definitely. But I also think Gerrard's supporters make it so difficult to have any conversation about him, because it's like I remember at one point there were Liverpool fans on, not saying all of them, but there were Liverpool fans on social media saying, bro, Modric could never do what Gerrard did for Liverpool.
So
and I'm like, well, so what? Because Gerrard never left Liverpool and never went to a big team where he could have shown what he did, and no one ever played for a team like Liverpool.
Okay.
All of a sudden now we have to penalize everybody else because Gerrard didn't leave Liverpool. I'm like, that's not a fair way of looking at football, man. Like, I'm not sure Gerrard could have gone to Real Madrid and dominated midfields as to the level of Luka Modric. I'm not sure if we want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
But for me, out of the three, I agree. I definitely think Gerrard had more to his game than Lampard. And as much as I really love Scholes as well too, like sometimes I look at what Gerrard was able to do in terms of just like carrying a team in moments and just change it through sheer willpower.
Immense.
For me, that's so admirable. Like that's my kind. I like that kind of midfielder.
For me, it's just it's immense. All of them are immense players. But as you were just saying with like the hypotheticals, you can bring it down to a lower level. And a lower level, look at Bruno Fernandes at Man United. What he's offered in the last couple of years, 100.
It's like saying, I'll take Bruno over Kevin De Bruyne because De Bruyne do what he did.
You know what I mean?
Bruno.
Like,
it's a poor argument.
I'm gonna take Bruno over David Silva because is David Silva getting us that level of GA? Is he gonna bring this rubbish team to a it becomes too much? Like, lads, we didn't get to see that. So how do we know? How do we know that they wouldn't have been able to do that? We didn't get to see it, and that's just the reality. So I don't like doing it in that way. Otherwise, Gerrard's the GOAT because he's the only one that's really been in that situation in terms of maybe he didn't win like the rest of them, and he had guys competing. That means Gerrard has to be. But
that's how it feels. That's how
great players playing great teams.
But that's how it feels like for me whenever Gerrard gets into conversations when Liverpool fans are defending Gerrard. It's like, so we can't compare anyone to him because Gerrard stayed at Liverpool and he did things with this team that. Then why even have the conversation? Zidane can't do what he did at Liverpool either, right? Then Maradona can't do it. Like, it becomes now a case of like,
It's hypothetical.
Everybody else gets punished because Gerrard played for Liverpool.
It's too much hypotheticals, and I think, even when I'm saying, I think it's close with all of them. Honestly, bro, I can wake up tomorrow, watch a Lampard comp, and be like, actually, you know, this.
For me, bro, Lampard has now become the most disrespected out of the three by a large margin. Honestly,
him and Scholes.
I think Lampard.
I think Gerrard's aged the best out of the three.
But I think he definitely has. But Scholes still has like the European contingency of people that rate him.
Yeah.
Lampard now has had his game watered down to like such a basic level. Like people genuinely think he's just a basic midfielder with an average skill set that poached 20 goals a season.
Lampard was so intelligent. Lampard's final third passing was absolutely amazing. Lampard could score off both feet as well. He knew where to be. I don't even like saying this whole late runs into the box because Lampard had more to that. Like, I don't like exactly what I don't like the narrative.
He's literally been watered down to like Dele Alli 2.0, and I'm like, he was one of the most efficient midfielders. Yeah. You will see because I agree he wasn't as naturally gifted as a Scholes,
and he would
or
say
Gerrard.
that, bro.
And, most people would. Rooney himself said he wasn't as talented, but that makes what he did even more impressive.
Yeah.
And this is why for me I find it a little ironic now that people are trying to like revise Lampard's career because now we're in this generation where efficiency is like viewed as the main thing. How productive you are is seen as the main thing. But that doesn't hold true to Lampard then. People will say, well, a midfielder's job isn't to score an assist. But let me finish. They'll say a midfielder's job isn't to score an assist. Well, when did a winger's job become to score an assist? When did a fullback's job become to score an assist? We don't penalize those guys for getting numbers, but Lampard's like, well, that's not how I judge midfielders. You can't have your cake and then decide that that's not the way you want to eat it either. Like, I think Lampard now has become the most.
Lampard's big game resume is that's not
very bro. He scored in the biggest games. He won the biggest trophies. He was ever present for his team when they needed him. He was the figure of consistency for 10, 15 years. And the way he's been rewarded that post-career is, he was really good at arriving late in the box.
Yeah.
Hell, man.
And the thing is,
sounds like Kevin Nolan.
I mean, listen, when you keep saying certain things, it becomes the narrative, right?
Yeah.
It becomes the But the thing is, we'll go back to the thing like. I'll go back to something in a sec when I open up another conversation. But it's like when something becomes a thing, just the same way as Ronaldo was a bum that just went to the gym. Flipping out, he got a pure gym membership, and all of a sudden Ronaldo turned goated. That's how these are put. If you continue same thing with Lampard, Harry Redknapp clip, Fat Frank, and then he goes on to become because he just arrives in the box. But that's a total disrespect to the player, the intelligence, the IQ. But I get it, natural talent. Maybe he was not that level, okay, but his application got him into these conversations.
I'm not hearing that because now we look at Haaland, for example, and rightfully so, he's lauded. Like people are always talking about what's called Haaland. The argument they always make about him. Who cares that he doesn't dribble or do this or do that? In front of goal, he's always scoring. He's the most efficient player in the. Look at the numbers he puts up. Why can't we then carry that logic into what Lampard is doing? Then again, we understand he's not doing disguised through passes with no looks or running games. We understand that. But if efficiency is now the name of the game, how can you penalize Lampard for that? He's the most efficient midfielder of the three.
Yeah, and guys, I'm sorry. You're listening to me and Lyes talk about football right now, right? I guarantee you guys, you're going to be, I don't know if you're 20, 21, 19, 18, 15. I don't know what you guys' age are, right? You guys are going to see the exact same players that you're hyping up now. Kevin De Bruyne, Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, whoever you want to name, come back in 5-10 years. Watch what people are saying about them players. Because I'm watching online people say, look at the time that Paul Scholes has.
Oh, that was the worst take ever, man.
I'm watching Thomas Partey. I'm watching Declan Rice have all the time in the world when they play for Arsenal. What do you think big teams do when they play against the smaller teams? What do you think Arsenal v West Ham will look like in 2025? Do you think it will look any different to Man United v West Ham in 2011? It would not. It's going to be a top team playing against a low block team. You seen the time Pedri has on the ball every time he gets the ball. Frankie de Jong.
Great midfielders make.
Are you seeing the time that we're watching the Premier League right now? You seeing the time that Ryan Gravenberch has on the ball sometimes? Are you seeing, bro? What are we doing here, bro? Like top teams, you're gonna play against low blocks. These guys are going to have time on the ball. Let's not just pick out and start saying, just wait on it. Wait on the players that you guys talking about now. they are going to all start getting rubbed out because people are going to say the game has moved on, it's faster, blah, blah, blah. We're watching KDBs, we're watching these guys live, entertain us and do things week in, week out. And soon they're going to be absolutely erased players. And it's crazy because we were talking about legacies, like how legacies boost and how legacies reduce, basically. And we were talking about Harry Kane. Harry Kane got less respect scoring 213 goals in the league for Spurs, right? He got less respect doing that than he's away. He has more respect on what he did at Spurs. How does that make sense? When he was in the Premier League, people were consistently talking him down. Nobody applied that logic, by the way, of playing for a weaker team like they do with Gerrard, but that's whatever, because I guess he didn't win. Everybody's talking him down. He's not this, he's not that, he's not this, right? He goes to Bayern Munich, smashes up as we all knew he would. And now people are going back to his Prem legacy and saying he's top 5. Or actually, he has to be in the top 3. I'm like, how does that make sense? You didn't have him in the top 3 when he was in the Prem. He's left the Prem, and now he's in your top 3.
Crazy, bro. And
someone like Kun Aguero, who was in everybody's top 5, is now not in top 5s. Yeah. How Aguero's, like, someone like Aguero's legacy is just complete. You know what? And I think it's a discussion that me and you have had numerous times. We just never really said it on camera. Manchester United and Man City fans do not do enough to prop our players. They don't. We're the two most dominant. The Premier League is defined by Manchester United and Manchester City. Yeah. You go look at the stats. It's Manchester United, Manchester City. I don't know if it's because we've come from winning backgrounds where it's just like, well, Prems do the talking, winning trophies do the talking. And maybe there's some inferiority complex from other teams where they need to always boost their players and that's their way of having a win. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, if Kun Aguero played for Manchester United, I'm putting him top 2, bro. You think you can stop me? You think you can stop me from putting him top 2? Like, I'm watching people not have Wayne Rooney's in their top 5. I'm watching Premier League 11s without Wayne Rooney in there.
Hold on, I saw Premier League 11 without any Man United player.
Without any Man United. I'm seeing Premier League 11s without Rooney's in there. I'm seeing Giggsby talked down, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Rio Ferdinand, all these guys. I'm seeing people like, I'm telling you, I'm watching because he was the big dog. He's the one I'm watching the most. I'm watching how KDB's legacy ages. I am watching it. I have a feeling.
I think he's safe. I'm not gonna lie.
We'll see.
I think he's one of the few City players that's safe.
We'll see. Because only person for me that's aged well at Man City is Yaya Toure. And Yaya Toure has aged well by rivals because we all love him. I always say, if you have a top 10 least hated footballers, Yaya Toure is in there. But I feel like De Bruyne
has like a league-wide respect to him, bro.
David Silva.
No, but David Silva. David Silva had like, he went under the radar a lot of times too, bro, because of his style. I do think De Bruyne has like, he commands a league-wide respect, which is why I think he'll age a lot better than the rest of them. And also,
let's see. I hope he does.
De Bruyne plays a very English game too as well. He's in your face. He's dynamic. He scores goals. He's a loud character. David Silva, for me, I had a tweet when he left the Premier League. I was like, David Silva in 5 years' time, we won't be talking about him the way he should.
Give it 10 years, though. I'm not saying now, give it 10 years because the younger people run the conversation, right? Give it 10 years. Give it 10 years because the people I'm talking about, Scholes, his Giggs, his Keens, they're 10 years gone. Yeah. It's been more than 10 years for some of them. Let's give it 10 years because David Silva, afterthought nowadays. Aguero, becoming an afterthought. Vincent Kompany, afterthoughts. Gundogan, he's going to become an afterthought too. Let's see with Rodri. He got Ballon d'Or, so I guess he'll always live. But I'm telling you now, if I had the collection of players Man City and Manchester United have had, you'd think that we'll be screaming their names to the heavens. But you look at these teams, it's full of Arsenal and Liverpool. It's full of Arsenal and Liverpool, bro. I'm like,
and Kane now.
And Kane. This is madness, man. But that's why I always say football should be defined by generations. Because we didn't get to watch Tony Adams. We didn't get to watch Eric Cantona. And you listen to how them people talk about them. And
bro, I was saying on stream yesterday, Dennis Bergkamp, I feel like has just been erased. Dennis Bergkamp has been erased. You ask every Arsenal player from that era, bar Henry, who's the guy? Bergkamp. Yeah. I mean, Henry will literally say Bergkamp is the best player I played with.
Henry, goes back to the whole talent thing. Henry says Dennis Bergkamp was better than him. Yeah. But if you said Henry's, if Bergkamp's, like, people think no, because Henry went on to be the much better player. but Dennis Bergkamp is more gifted than Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
Can you already argue that?
If you were to make a top five most talented footballers to ever play in the Premier League, Dennis Bergkamp is in that top
there.
Five.
He's in there. He's more gifted. Yeah. Like, why are people afraid of this word gift?
Yeah.
He's more gifted.
Because I think though now football
is more gifted than Henry.
But the reason people are afraid of these words, bro, honestly, is because I think football now is becoming something. And I saw a great TikTok on it, but I'm gonna steal their whole thing a little. Football is now becoming a sport where people are trying to make it objective so much. Like they see basketball and how stats driven that is, and it's like, oh, this guy has more points than this guy, so he's better. This guy has more assists than this guy, so he's better. Baseball, it's the most stat driven sport, and I think we're trying. Well, we're not trying. We are kind of bringing that into football now. But I just think football is such a different sport compared to those where feeling has and will always be a huge defining factor in how you view players. What does that player make you feel? Football is much more of an art form than baseball and basketball is. Like, I know people aren't going to like that, especially the younger generation, but that's how the game has always been viewed. And it's only, I feel now, in the last 5-10 years, really, that I think we're kind of swaying away from that. And it's like, this has to be an absolute fact. And how do I determine that? They're numbers.
Yeah. It's a shame, man. It's a shame because, again, you're talking about like that type of stuff. You look at Cantona, his gift was unbelievable as well. You look at Bergkamp, you look at Zola. If you say Zola, people are probably thinking, what are you talking about? He's one of the most gifted players to play in the league, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you look at Zola's, I'm talking about these guys just from the 90s, by the way. Letizier's, these type of guys. Mad gifts, man. Like, mad gifts. And I always say it, I've spoken to Ian Wright, live in person, and he says Dennis Bergkamp's gift is talent. He can't even chat to him. Yeah, he's scoring 185 Premier League goals or whatever. I mean, 185 goals to Arsenal, but me and Bergkamp, come on, like let's have manners now. You know what I mean? Let's have manners. But again, as you said, the game is moving away from that. But then again, I feel like the game's moving away from that until your team has that. Do you get where I'm coming from? Look at the way people are talking about Max Dowman. Look at the feeling he's giving you. Look at the talent you're looking at. So now if Max Dowman doesn't go and become one of the greatest English players ever, you guys going to say he wasn't a good talent?
Yeah, it was a rough talent. Yeah.
Oh, is that what people are going to say? If Max Dowman doesn't go on and become goated, are people going to say that he was not an unbelievable talent? Like, I mean, I just don't see football that way. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just don't see football. Rio Nguma Mahar, whatever. Look at his talent. Look at the kid. If he doesn't go on and become better than Raheem Sterling or whatever, was he dead?
Well, that's why I kind of want the Ben Arfa take that you had, right? Like, I feel like this is another thing I basically was seeing. Like, people were saying, "Oh, streets won't forget players like Ben Arfa, Michu, Alan Saint-Maximin." I was like, hold on a second, like, we're going too far now. Like, Ben Arfa now is starting to become like...
He's a slander name. Ben Arfa is the chief for slander of a player that's talented, but he didn't make it. He's just another Ben Arfa.
You can't... What do you mean? No, but you can't... But it's like the names that Ben Arfa gets put in, for me, is starting to make me feel uncomfortable now.
Nabil Fekir
and for me, Ben Arfa and Tarabt are always the two that get brought up whenever some North African guy comes in. I'm sorry, you can't compare Ben Arfa and Tarabt. Like,
Tarabt was way more gifted than Tarabt
by a million miles.
Tarabt
was a very skillful player, very player who did his thing in the EFL Championship for 1 year, and then you never heard from him.
Ben Rama did that.
Yeah. No, Ben Arfa was one of the best talents coming out of France in their academy system that they had seen in that era, bro.
Yes,
it's Michu is a 1-season wonder.
Yeah.
Saint-Maximin is a decent winger coming out of France.
Yeah.
You can't put Ben Arfa next to these guys, bro.
Yeah.
Ben Arfa was destined for big things, and he never achieved it. That's like me saying, oh, Balotelli and Michu, streets won't forget.
Yeah.
No, Balotelli was a ridiculous footballer.
Balotelli is an unbelievable talent. Imagine turning around and saying...
I think we're mixing now streets won't forget and failed Wonderkid.
Yes, we are.
They're becoming blurred now.
Yeah,
like, that's me saying Adriano and Rocky Santa Cruz in the same conversation.
Yeah.
That, you can't do that,
bro. It don't make sense.
Yeah.
And again, even when you look at Balotelli, tell me a top striker. Tell me a striker that's done well in his career, really well.
I don't know.
Let's say
Chris Wood.
Let's say no, that's super. Let's say like
you're saying better than Chris Wood.
Yeah. Let's say Aubameyang. Rom, remember Lukaku?
Yeah. Lukaku, though, I think was a crazy young talent.
He was. He's not a better talent than Mario Balotelli for me. You think he's better?
Ooh, I don't know.
You think he's more gifted than Balotelli?
Lukaku coming out.
But Lukaku was a brute.
Yeah,
but I don't think he's more gifted than Balotelli.
And Balotelli was messed up.
Balotelli.
But Lukaku, bro, at like 60.
No, Lukaku, I love him. I like
scored
Lukaku.
like 200 goals.
Yeah. He was a demon. But you look at some people, Aubameyangs. You look at, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of who the best strikers were of the generation. Who was the best strikers of the generation?
Well, like Cavani, like.
And who else?
Aguero. These guys are all ridiculous. I'm trying to think of something. Like Aubameyang, I think is a good example. Because Aubameyang really, he got every last drop of his career like out of him.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that he's more gifted than Pato, which is a failed one.
Adriano's the biggest example.
Than Balotelli. That's the thing. But as I'm saying, I think people are now just kind of seeing it as like, oh, you're just a freestyler, you're just a street footballer. You're just like, but I don't know. It does get blurred lines. I fully agree with you on that. And like Taarabt, they think probably that we think Taarabt is goated.
No,
like,
bro.
We call no, we don't. But I went to those championship games. I watched nearly every game of that Premier League season when QPR went up. Taarabt, I loved watching him. But I'm not deluded to think that Taarabt is one of the greatest talents of all time. Skiller, yes. But I used to watch Taarabt misplaced passes. I used to watch Taarabt. There's passes on he couldn't execute. I used to watch his shooting tame a lot of the time. I used to see this stuff, bro. Skillful wise, yo, let's go goals. Forget it. You know what I mean? He's doing you up. But I'm not gonna be silly and say he's one of the greatest.
It makes
he's
me
not
laugh
Ben Arfa.
When I laugh and see him in Ben Arfa, I'm like, yeah, it's a different level, bro.
It's like Dimitri Payet.
Yeah.
Look at his talent, bro.
Yeah.
Look at
when I see Taarabt like sneak his way into these combos, I'm like, I genuinely think these people think like this is like when the old pure footballer argument came about. And people thought pure footballer just meant like, oh, you can do elastic. There's differences here, bro. I mean, this is like saying like Hachim Mastor back in the day. Remember that? Little Milan kid or whatever. Is Neymar level? Nah, bro, he can just do good skills.
Yeah, bro. Look at Payet. His ability is oh my lord. Anyway, man, we can go in circles just talking about these type of names.
Before I wrap it up, like international break, I've clocked the method now. It's basically just rewrite every Chelsea player's career.
Yeah,
it is Hazard.
Yeah,
Lampard.
We did a bingo. We said, what was the international break going? I said Hazard's going to be slandered this international break.
I think he got it because he came back. Yeah. He came back that 10. By the way, bro.
No, but people randomly, even before that, there was in the start of the international break, it was an Alexis Sanchez is better than Hazard.
Oh, that was Liban who drove that. Yeah. But no, and you know what? I often think, I'm not trying to paint the whole fan base with this brush. Why is it always Arsenal fans rewriting Chelsea players' careers, bro? Why are Arsenal fans going at Drogba? Drogba punished you guys way too many times for you guys to still hold a grudge this bad, bro. Like, Hazard punished you guys way too many times for you guys to hold a grudge.
I don't know. I feel like everyone just
But I feel like Chelsea, I think Chelsea, those three, it's like the three horsemen of the apocalypse now, bro. Like Drogba, Lampard, Hazard. Yeah. Every international break, those three get the wrong end of the stick.
It's weird. It's strange. But then again, Hazard was not even too far removed as well, which is just crazy. But again, you look at N'Golo Kante, for example, who I think for what he was a generational player, right? For what he could do, like whatever. But like, he's aging better than Frank Lampard. He's aging better than Hazard, and like, this is insane, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, this is crazy, bro. Like, so, but again, because Kante is this generation, so it's a generation. It's a generational bias, but the ones that I'm always most disappointed with is like when it comes from the older generation, and they're like, I'm not saying everything in the past is better, by the way. I've never thought that, but it's when it's like they want to bring you to down a level and rewrite what we saw. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, for example, like when people are talking about, let's say, for example, like when people are talking about Alex Ferguson, because even Ferguson be getting slandered sometimes. About how people talk about Alex Ferguson or how we won leagues or this. I'm thinking, bro, we all lived through their moments and we saw the greatness. And now we're 12 years removed from Ferguson, and it's like, nah, he wasn't this, he wasn't that, he wasn't. I'm just like, how is this? How is this possible that we're having these level of conversations? You know what I mean? I always say there's a few untouchables that nobody bothers with, right? Even though people, Salah fans go at Henry all the time, so fair enough. But
Henry, for the most part, has like a league-wide respect. I
think Thierry Henry,
Messi for the most part.
Messi.
Right, you're honestly like it's.
Because even Ronaldinho gets hit with nonsense these days.
Funny enough, Gerrard, I think.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think Gerrard. Gerrard is in every Premier League team of the season. It's all time.
Gerrard. Maybe like Ashley Cole.
Yeah, Ashley Cole for sure.
Ashley Cole. I don't even need to say Messi because that's in another country, but
there's not many, bro. There's not many.
But some people have just breached like you can't say nothing about them because even Zidane gets criticized. So listen, it's all generation.
International break.
It's all generation. International break, man. International break. I can't wait. Oh, there's another one in a month.
That's the worst part.
I was gonna say this March. Oh my god.
Ah man, there's gonna be 3 in the first 3 months of the season.
Oh, my goodness, bro.
It's like they're testing us, bro.
I'm telling you, I'm going away next month. I'm away.
You're not seeing them.
Nah, I'm away. If we do eye test, it's over Zoom.
Zoom.
It's over Zoom, bro. I'm away.
So, Cam, I see you're in Hawaii right now.
Yeah.
Who do you think was better, Vieira or Roy Keane?
Bro, I'm away, man. I'm away.
Do not disturb. Guys, let us know in the comment section down below what has been the craziest international break take that you have seen.
No, I can't believe he got 13 million views, bro.
Yeah, get your game up, man.
Bro, I need to get my game up.
I need to get my game up, guys.
Get your game up,
I need to start just chatting nonsense
get
on
your
Twitter,
game
bro.
up, bro. Who you coming at, bro? Let's do a social experiment. Do you want to do an eye test social experiment?
Well, only the eye test viewers will know.
Yeah, only the eye test viewers will know that you have done a tweet to try and trigger the masses. Who can you come at? Who can you go at that would trigger that?
Yeah, like an old player that could like.
I don't think we can do Messi levels though.
Nah.
Messi's we've been knocked down.
Also, people know me. Like,
what about Cristiano?
Yo, imagine I came for Cristiano.
What about Cristiano? Could you do a Cristiano?
Nah, I would get death threats. Honestly, that's too far.
Could you do a Cristiano?
Far. Cristiano and Messi, I'll never touch those fans.
But do you think you could do a team that can surpass his?
Bro, you could always surpass it.
What do you think you'd say?
You can always surpass it.
Like,
you can
what?
be
What
like,
do you think you could say?
Bro, like I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo all time is greater than Mbappe. I reckon if I said something like that, like, but I don't believe that. But I'm saying like that would like trigger people.
Yeah.
Like I could. Honestly, this is like the way these people think.
Or if you said something like 2 more years of Mbappe at this level, he'll surpass Ronaldo's.
One more World Cup from Mbappe.
Like Ronaldo's
one more World Cup from Mbappe. I'm taking him over Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Bro, the internet would explode.
Yeah.
I don't believe that, by the way. But honestly, that would hit 20 million. Yeah. No, you could always do worse, bro. Seriously.
Yeah.
And I actually think Ronaldo's fans would lash out worse than Messi's did.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because he has a much big... Bro, Ronaldo's the biggest sportsman on the planet.
But Ronaldo has been slandered way more times than Messi. This is rare.
He got shooters,
this
bro.
is like, what is going on here?
I think Ronaldo...
This is like when I said... Remember when I said if you're in school and you grew up a Messi fan, you're a neek?
I forgot about that.
They came at me, bro.
I forgot about that.
Bro, people think I'm not a veteran in this, bro.
I'm a veteran. You're a veteran troll.
No, troll. I'm a veteran in like people trying to pile on tweets, bro. That is fucking jokes, bro.
Get involved in the comment section down below on everything we've talked about, guys. Like, share, subscribe. At the time recording, Cam is wearing the Nigeria jacket. By the time you watch this, we will have known if Nigeria are at the World Cup or most likely not. But yeah, guys, we'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.